Stoke in Hampshire. And this is an interesting engine in that it's got the Wallace & Stevens patent expansion valve gear. Now this was a gear which gave very economical use of the steam when you were working on the belt. If you were driving something like a thrasher or a saw bench or something of that sort, then you used less steam than a conventional single-cylinder engine. Another of our Fodens coming along, this time a timber tractor. This was a special version of the Foden built specifically for timber working. It's got a very big winch under the rear axle, and it was, you can see, originally purchased by Kirby's, the timber merchants at Newton Abbot. And this would be used for towing the timber out of the woods, loading it onto the trailer, and then towing the trailer with the timber on back to the sawmills. Right, we've got the first of our steam rollers coming along now. This is an interesting engine. It was built by Aveling and Porters at Rochester in Kent, and it was sold to a Swiss company. It spent its working life in Switzerland and has now been brought back into this country for preservation. One of the interesting things was they had to produce a set of drawings in metric so that they could do the work on rebuilding it in Switzerland and keeping it running. And so they had to have a special set of drawings made just for this engine. There it is. So brought back from Switzerland, it runs beautifully. They must have looked after it well. Well, if they can build watches, why not? I mean, there it is. Right, another of our Burrell Showman's tractors coming along now. This was part of the Gilby collection. We've got the big scenic engine on the end there, Perseverance, and this was another of their engines. I'm not sure that driver should be up there somehow, but never mind. No. There it is. Okay, another of our road rollers. This is the Aveling roller, which I believe is still owned by Devon County Council, but it's out on loan so that it can be brought around to shows. Devon had quite a fleet of road rollers, and one or two of them they've kept, but they've let them out on loan so that they can be shown at rallies. So here it is. It's got an enormous whistle on the cab of this one. I think they'd probably empty the boiler if they blew that whistle. It was designed, I think, for a Canadian locomotive.
Southern Pacific.
There it is. So the Aveling and Porter. Thomas Aveling was the man who is generally considered to be the first person to have the idea of putting rolls onto a an engine and using it to roll the roads. And these normal three-point suspension rollers, most of the weight tends to be on the rear rolls, and they were brilliant at putting down foundation work. But when it came to the softer materials such as tar macadam, I'm afraid they weren't quite as good. So one or two companies then produced specialist machines for rolling tar macadam. Right, following on, we've got